Before the video begins, I'd like to give a shout out and thank you to the people on screen for supporting me on Patreon. Enjoy the video.
Hello and welcome to part 4 of Sega GT. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off in the driver's test. We just got one more class left to go, and it is the SA class, the cream of the crop in terms of performance vehicles in this game. So we got 6 more to go, and we're starting with STI with the Subaru Impreza 22B STI. Yeah, the 22B is in this game. Basically, one of the most fan favorite Imprezas because it's such an iconic vehicle in terms of its lineage and its history. Because, you know, WRC, Colin McRae, all that sort of stuff. The prescribed time is 1 minute, .684. And we're going at Snowy Mountain Reverse. So, it's kind of interesting. E-Class Ford. B-Class Reverse, A-Class Ford, SA-Class Reverse. You see the little pattern? So the fastest lap here is a 57.130, which is interesting because I didn't get that far off of that time in the MR2 doing the Ford variant for the A-Class. Which makes me wonder what time will I actually be able to manage with the 22B here. Yes, we'll just let the car bounce off, because why not? Again, it helps to point the car in the right direction for what I needed. Alrighty. We'll just come down the tunnel here. We'll probably be shooting out at about nearly 140, I would say. Yeah, actually over 140. Not too far off 145, even. Should have turned a little bit more there, but it's fine. This is going to be close. And yet, it was still a sub 57, 56.976. Not a perfect run by any means, but still good enough to get the best time, to beat the best time, that is, excuse me, that the game gives you. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so that's 1 down, 5 to go. Next up is Toyota with TRD with solid circuit reverse, yet again, this time with the Toyota Supra RZ. The JZA80, or the Mark IV, as some others might know it as. I've lost track of how many times I've been doing this, probably 5 or 6 at this point. This one seems to really be strict, I think. You really got to get a really good run out of this. Anyways, the Toyota Supra. The Supra is perhaps the biggest non-inclusion of Toyota now being absent in most racing video games that isn't either Gran Turismo or Project Cars. Because Toyota's whole idea is, oh, well, if they're in video games, and people aren't gonna buy our cars. That's actually the reason. I'm pretty sure from what I've been told is why they're not including their cars, and it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Get your head out your ass, Toyota. Just allow your cars to be in the games if the companies want to license your vehicles. It gives more people eyes on what you make and makes people more aware of your products, that they might go out and buy it if they like it. Like, come on. It's just one of those things. Anyways, hopefully this will finally be the run. I have a good feeling about this. Yes! 103.669. Very well done indeed. Ugh. My nose. Why must it continue to be stuffy? I hate it. I wish it would not be stuffy. Whatever. So there we go. There's that down, so we can move on to Nismo, where we've got an R34 Skyline GTR V-Spec. Around reverse night ground with a prescribed time of 39.007 seconds. 4th go with this? Are you serious? Like, of all tracks I have to have multiple attempts at, it's this track? Yeah, turns out it's exactly the case. I've been bumping into walls a bit more than I should be. In fact, I really even shouldn't be bumping into one at all. But I have been, because I'm very smart, you see. No, I'm not. It's kind of interesting, though. They give you the Skyline on the second smallest track in the whole game. Yes, there is a track smaller than this. And no, it's not in the driver's test or Works Cup, so... Alright, I think this time I've actually got it now, so it should be fine. Yep, easily. 36.097. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, one of the most well-renowned Japanese sports cars, and we're gonna have you use it in one of the smallest tracks in the game. Cool. It's just something I find slightly amusing as well. Anyways, we're halfway through, which means next we got Mugen with the Honda NSX Type S0 around Great Rock Road Reverse. Yeah, it seems like Honda, all the Hondas are in Great Rock Road. I think the Z was Deep Rock Road, but still the same kind of general area. So the qualified time is a minute .875, with the fastest lap being a 57.651. So it's interesting. It is interesting, though. After the last 3 rows at this, it was the forward variant. It's now finally where we get the backwards variant of the track. So at least it finally switches up. But of course, that means the really tight corner is still going to be tight, because it's tight no matter which way you do it. There we go. Was off the power enough and got through it fairly simply. Yeah, we'll just let it hit, because, you know, it's kind of faster than getting off to try to manage it. This might actually be a bit closer than I expected, but no. 57.242. We got it in the first go. Very nice, indeed. Well, and with that leaves us with just 2 more to go for the SA class. Next we have is Mazda Speed. And yet again, it is Sky Peak Hill Reverse, this time with a Mazda Uno's Cosmo. Yes, amazingly enough, the last car you use for the SA class for Mazda is not the RX-7. The RX-7 is in the game, but it's not what you use for the... But you don't seem to use it for the license. Apparently they decided that the Cosmo was a better inclusion. Is it because it's a 3-rotor, not a 2-rotor like the RX-7? Maybe. Maybe. And of course I really botched that. 111.164, 106.353. I think that's actually slower than the Sylvia, and that's an A class. So why didn't they just use the RX-7 for this? That just makes it more mind-boggling. Because, you know, it makes total sense. Let's use a car that's actually slower than the last one that the player gets put in. Doesn't even it doesn't even handle as good too. It's not completely worse, but you know. I'm probably gonna have to redo this one anyways, because that run was pretty bad. Or maybe not. Maybe I might actually already have it. Oh, okay, cool. 105.634. That was a really ugly run, and yet it was still fast enough. I will happily accept that then. So yeah, they really should have just used the they really should have just used the RX-7 for that, but oh well. Now, the last one here is a bit interesting. If you own the North American version of the game, the last one you have will, again, be Rally Art with Mitsubishi. And I believe that one is with the GTO, the Twin Turbo, the 3000 GT. But in the European version of the game and the PC versions, they replaced it with Renault Sport. So instead of a 3000 GT closing it off, you get the Clio V6, with Night Section B being the final track. I believe Night Section B is also it's the same track with the GTO. It's just they just swapped the cars. And this will also come into play as well as a result for the Works Cup, as we'll get to that. But yeah, Night Section B. There's a reason why the other one was Night Section A and not Night Section. Basically, I think this is a more like subdued variation of the track. It's still very similar in a lot of ways, but it's got some different sections, such as this little area that's kind of got that semi special stage Route 5 vibe going for it, but not quite. Now, the Clio V6 is a mid-engine car like the NSX, but There's something we're gonna have to be talking about this car as we get to it. We're not quite there yet, obviously, but let's just say it's not exact. It's gonna be one of the main culprits to a thing I was talking about earlier. I think as far back vaguely in part 1. But for now, we're not quite there yet. We're just gonna get this Clio to the finish line. Ooh. This car is a little bit slippery. I mean, it is mid-engined and rear-wheel drive, so I suppose that would make sense. But yeah, this one's actually kind of easy. I nearly beat it by 2 whole seconds. 122.384. And with that, we have now completed every single one. And for completing all of them, I think you might have to also come first on all of them. You get a bonus car, a premium car. It seems to be a Subaru Impreza WRX STI with a bit of a livery on it. And of course, we can enter the Works Cup with Reynolds Sport. So there we go. That's all 4 of them down. All of them completed with the times beat. So let's go take a look at a better look at that car we got. It is the Impreza WRX Type R tuned by STI. It's basically a nice little car they give you for all the work that you've done. It's a nice little way to start the game, basically, if you haven't actually done anything else. It's worth putting in. It's worth putting in the work if you're willing to, because you get pretty much one of the best A-class cars in the game. And of course, you can select it like that if you wanted to. But that's not quite. We're not quite going to be using that, because in the next part, we're going to be beginning our pursuit in the Works Cup. Stay tuned for that, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, why not hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on when the next Sega GT part goes up. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch and support the channel if you want at the Patreon, which the links to all those are in the description box down below. And I'll catch you all on the next one.